Hey, what's up you guys? First video on this new channel, playing F1 2020 at Silverstone. And as you know, the Formula 1 will have 2 races at Silverstone, and probably Mercedes, they will be dominating and take P1 and P2. But we will try to actually beat Mercedes at Silverstone with Alex Albon, who in real life doesn't have much success right now, but I mean, we can give it a try. And so here's our first qualifying lap, and let's talk a little bit about Silverstone, the track. Going on full throttle, flat, towards Abbey, after main straight, down to the farm and village. And after this right-hander, we come into the somewhat clumsy arena section. It's one section of Silverstone I don't really like, but I think it's not that bad, especially in a Red Bull with a lot of downforce you got. So further down to Perklands, difficult corner, difficult left-hander, 4th gear, then 3rd gear, Laffield, and it's difficult because you have to be on full throttle as soon as possible, but sometimes if you don't get the line right, then I mean, your full speed is suffering. So towards Cobbs, and then of course famously into Maggots, and then Baggots. Here you lift off a little bit and then you go on the brake. Towards Chapel, it's really important to get a good exit there. Down Hanger straight, best opportunity to pass someone into this fast right-hander, late apex. And then you come towards Club and back on the start and finish straight, and that's our qualifying lap. And we finished the first qualifying on P4 behind Verstappen and the 2 Mercedes, but it looked quite well. Also had a good second qualifying, but then what happened? Of course, it's Silverstone, it's a British Grand Prix. It started raining. It started raining quite heavily, still enough to go into intermediates, but the problem was that we had a aggressive try setup. And I mean, yes, of course, every Brit will tell you that you shouldn't have an aggressive try setup at Silverstone because the probability that there will rain is quite high. So we are suffering now. Still, I think we had the pace to beat Hamilton for pole position, but it wasn't really enough. And also it continued to rain and the track got just wet, and it wasn't enough to have a second lap. And here we are also over the curb, and not really a good exit into Maggots and Baggots, and just Maggots and Baggots in the rain can be horrible. So yeah, wasn't our best lap, and so we finished P2 behind, of course, behind Hamilton. And so that will be our task for Sunday, to beat Lewis Hamilton.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, just edging out Alexander Albon, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas and Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, Ocon and Lance Stroll, Kvyat, Norris, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Seeing Vettel in P14, just the realism of this game. Just seeing Vettel suffering with the Ferrari. So, but of course we will focus on our race and try to beat Hamilton. Either outsmart him or just outpace him. It's sunny at Silverstone here on Sunday, so our try setup will actually help us. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go with the British Grand Prix. And actually our start wasn't that good, but some wheel spin with Hamilton, and so we can attack him down to Abbey, but it's not enough. So we will slot behind him and just try to be as close as it gets, but not getting into much dirty air, especially in the fast corners. Here, a little bit of a mistake. I was too tight there, but it's alright. Down the straight towards Brooklands. He can pull away actually a little bit, but it's still good. Still, we are in a position we can be within a second. Of course, we can then enable DRS after 3 laps. Our strategy is to pit after 5. And as you might have noticed, is that Hamilton is on the mediums and we are on the softs. So there is a discrepancy in terms of strategy. We don't know at this point when he will pit and if we can actually undercut him to some extent, or if he will just pull away when our softs start deteriorating in lap 4 or 5. So there's a big question mark behind strategy here. At this point in the race, we are still close to him, and actually what happened is that we got closer to him after lap 3. So it didn't work the way you would have thought, that our softs got worse and just that Hamilton would pull away on the mediums. It didn't happen. He lost a little bit of pace on the mediums, so it might have not been the best move from his team to get on the mediums. And now here in this section, Brooklands and Luffield, we got so tight to him, just so close.
We've got a lot of spare energy.
And we can, of course, use the overtake button.
Okay, clear.
And really get enough speed to get close to him, but not too close to him here, right? Into maggots and baggets. It's not the best way into getting into dirty air and then losing a lot of grip there. So a little bit of a gap is actually advantageous, but then you have to be right down hanger straight, using all the tools you have, overtake button, slipstream, and getting close to him. Actually, we missed the corner a little bit there, the right-hander, but we're still close to him, and yeah, not enough there. Wouldn't have worked, so just stick behind Hamilton and move into the next lap and see what you can do there. But we just feel that we have the pace to overtake him. Can see we are tighter on some apex, and we might get him before our stop after lap 5. So yes, it might work. I don't know what really happened with his car and why he lost grip. A little bit of a mistake there. Now into a yellow section because Kvyat was out of the race. And he was just on the right side there. Just, I don't know, taking a walk on Sundays, something like that. I don't know, but for us it's important to be right behind Hamilton. Still a little bit of a gap. Now we get really close before maggots and baggets. Not perfect, but you can see really that now he has some trouble and we are just really close to him, and now we are so close in the slipstream, overtake button, DRS, all the tools in the world. He's not defending, just on the left side, and we can get on the right and overtake him. So beautiful move there, just clean. He didn't really defend, didn't be too aggressive. And now from a different perspective here, again really close behind him, then overtake button and DRS. He might have also used his overtake button, but that was not enough. And then just really not even too light on the brakes, just a clean move, and then we can immediately pull away from Hamilton. So you can really see that our pace is there, and maybe even pitting after 5 wasn't the best decision, but of course it was our strategy. Still, I mean, we had enough pace to maybe go on these softs a little bit longer. Didn't do it in the end, but still, I mean, sometimes you overthink these things after the race, and you see that softs were good enough for a few more laps. What is really a problem at Silverstone is that tires can really overheat, especially the front left tire. It's just suffering and suffering because of the right-handers, these fast right-handers. Front left is the one to look out for, because our race, you will lose a lot of grip. Now we go for our first and only pit stop in this race. We will see if the guys can do a good job there. Red Bull guys usually do that. And we are on the mediums, and now it's really our move to have a few good laps to make up some time and then go out before Hamilton when he leaves the pit lane. So that's really what it is right now. It's a race between us and Hamilton on the mediums. We saw that he lost some pace, but we don't know. Maybe he has recovered. We don't really know at this point. Our problem ahead is actually that we are now behind Nicolas Latifi. Great driver, just a bad car. Especially here at Silverstone, I don't think the Williams really works. Sure, top speed, yes, but downforce, no. In these fast corners, the Williams is not up to par. So we will shortly close the gap to him, and now it's really bad timing actually, because we are not close enough to overtake him here. It wouldn't work towards Cops, so we are behind him, but we are really close. We are getting closer, and now before Maggots and Baggets, we're into the derriere. Make the best of it actually. We are right behind him. Now you can really see that the Williams has top speed, a lot of top speed, but not enough for us, DRS and the overtake button. So we bypass Latifi, but of course we lost a little bit of time, and maybe that will actually hurt us in the race against Hamilton. But now we are here on the start and finish straight, and on the right side they could see the name tag for a brief moment, and that was Hamilton. So he left the pit lane and he's now behind us, and actually also behind Latifi. So he also has to go by the Williams, and we are right now in the lead actually. And that's what we want to see after lap 6. So in the background you see that Hamilton also goes by Latifi. And now it's really a question, can he make up some time with the softs against our mediums and against just our car, because the Mercedes is just a better car. But maybe we can really keep the gap wide enough to not allow him to use DRS, because that's the question now. Can he make up enough time? In the meantime, we have to go against Grosjean actually. So that's never a good thing, and he blocks us, although he has still to pit. So it wasn't really us against him at the time, but he just defends against us again before Maggots and Baggets. So bad timing once again here in this British Grand Prix. Yeah, so we actually lost a little bit of time there. It's not looking that good. Now the gap towards Hamilton is below 2 seconds. It's just almost below 1 second, and now we can go past Grosjean, but still we lost plenty of time against the Haas, against Grosjean, who just defended with all he had. Hopefully he will actually block Hamilton a little bit now, before he's overtaken by the Mercedes, by the 6-time world champion. But knowing our luck, maybe Grosjean is just pitting now before Hamilton loses even the slightest bit of time. We don't know. It's just up to us actually, just to have some good laps and keep the gap there where it is, above 1 second. That's just right now the situation. We can see in the background Hamilton. He can see us down Hangar Straight. He knows his target. Behind him is Max Verstappen, who I don't think really has the pace to attack Hamilton at this point, and just tries to secure his spot on the podium. We had a few decent laps, a few mistakes here and there, but it was alright, I think. Actually, great camera angle here. You can also see that Silverstone's actually not really bumpy. So there's that. I mean, a few other of these older tracks in the Formula 1 calendar are much more bumpier. Yeah, here again, Luffield is just one of the difficult corners of this track. Really getting a good exit there, getting a good line there. It's so inconsistent often enough. Where you get a good line one lap and the next lap you don't. Now we are in lap 12, so basically 1.5 laps to go. And we can see that the gap is getting a little bit closer, but still it's not enough for Hamilton to get into the DRS zone. So we are still ahead of him, but you can see that he's pulling away from the cars behind him, and on the other hand, he's getting closer to us. So it's still the question if he can maybe make a move in the last lap. And I mean, knowing Hamilton, he wants to win this race. Desperately. He wants to win all these races desperately. That's why he's complaining a lot on the team radio, which we will probably do right now. Just complain about the tires or something else. And we are just trying to have the best race we can and keep the gap as wide as possible. But yes, the mediums didn't work that well. I mean, I think just the tire wear is not there. As opposed to the softs on this track, but just the grip level is horrendous compared to the softs actually. Through Luffield one last time. Down to Cops and towards Maggots and Baggots. So it's looking good, but still getting through this last few corners, not making a last-minute mistake, which would, I mean, could happen at least. But as you can see, we are not within the DRS range from Hamilton, so it's looking good. He can't really attack us in this last lap. Just last few corners, not making a mistake, just getting this thing home, getting the win at the British Grand Prix for Alex Albon, Red Bull. We did it. We beat Lewis Hamilton, starting on P2, overtaking him on the track, and driver of the day, Sebastian Vettel. At least something, starting from P14 on the Ferrari.
Drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Hamilton didn't look too disappointed about P2, so I guess he just accepted that he was beaten by the better team. So there you go, Alex Albon winning the British Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my new channel, there will be new content soon.